Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia, in which we have expanded to another places that nobody would have thought before for a Croatian playthrough, and that is out of Europe. Surely a few episodes ago that we've expanded into North Africa, Croatian Maghreb, and then we decided to expand here in Jolof. And now we've expanded into Cameroon and now the Congolese coast. So yes, Croatian Congo, which I assume the spelling of Congo that starts with a K rather than the C in Latin. I'm sure it's similar to what do you mean similar? Maybe that's how it's spelled in the Croatian language. If anybody wants to smarten me up on this, for those who know the language and all of that. And now, as you can see, that there are 3 armies stationed there, as we are currently coring the provinces very, very slowly because of the distance. And those that are not being cored will be converted when we send missionaries there, so we can get some more papal influence, and use that papal influence to, what I use mostly, sanction commercial monopoly, more mercantilism. The higher the mercantilism, the more you'll dominate the trade power of the trade nodes that you have a presence of there. And so that's basically what's going to be for the rest of the 1700s Croatia. We want to become... Originally, we wanted to be a trade empire of the Mediterranean. Well, then we decided to go global. Yes, a global trade empire to compete with the British, the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Dutch, everyone. And form our own trade companies in Africa, and eventually one day to the East Indies. I know that. So, 3 words. These are the 3 words that I will say that will describe the near future of the Croatian series, because of our recent expansions and trade companies, all that. And I'm gonna bang the desk 3 times to prove a point. 3 words. Mercantilism, mercantilism, mercantilism. Get used to it, people. We have a 29% mercantilism, and we will keep increasing that, and we will convert some, not all the fetishists, which is the native African faith. Not all of them will be converted, unless it's convenience to, let's assign this area or province to a trade company, which depends on the trade goods. I mean, the areas we've taken over, it's got ivory, it's got gems, ivory, slaves, of course. But we decided not to go further inland because it's just a lot of slavery. And all that. And now. And what does Madagascar have? Slaves! What's with the African slave trade at that time? I know it was prevalent then, and it's part of the... I mean, obviously... But there is a decision somewhere. Abolition of slavery. Pass an act to prohibit slavery and outlaw slave trade throughout the nation. But we don't have the diplomatic skill. We would have to elect somebody who's into that. And if you do that, that increases innovativeness, but the missionary strength would go down. The Abolition of the Slavery Act, which would add stability modifier, but not so much on the taxes. And every province owned by Croatia will stop producing slaves, and it will be replaced by a randomized trade good, depending on the area, of course. Took a drink. So if we want to abolish slavery, we could, but only when it's convenient. Only when it's convenient, I say. And also, yes, we're at war with Russia and Perm, but the Commonwealth and Sweden's got it all handled. But we want to move some of the armies back to Europe. So we're transporting you two back to Zadigram. Subsequently, we want to create a new army to also safeguard these, because we have the money and we can afford it. We got to safeguard our positions. And you three are going to be staying here for a little while longer, unless we send another one back to somewhere. And until we have cored the areas officially, in about 3 years' time, because this is how long it's going to take for each, when that time comes, I don't know if we'll have the colonial range to start negotiating with Saklava. That small country that we have to buy off the land from. And if they don't, we are invading them. And we're using that, as we stated before, as a launching pad to get to the East Indies, likely against Pasai or Indrapura or Malacca even. It all depends. And all that. But still, it's just a great interest that I have in some of the regions. I mean, oh, and by the way, get rid of this idea, because we don't have an idea group right now. Well, I mean, we don't have a free idea group, because we're still not there. And there's no need for it to spread, because we already embraced it. And I'd like to promote them more, but it's gonna have to wait a bit. So again, sending them to Europe while we create this new army. Perm is out. And we got 9 ducats out of that. War's over. Vladimir Prince Korezan Golomina to Commonwealth. Suzdal will be pillaged. Of course. Favors gained from the Commonwealth? None. Oh, and by the way, you got the money? Yes, you do. Give me it. Sucker. Now, Commonwealth, speaking of which, there's an ongoing revolution there. It's the center of revolution here. It's in Lubin, next to Warsaw. So, it's spreading to 3 provinces. Especially there. Once the revolution takes over province, autonomy will rise depending on how absolutist the country is. Which there is a way to check it. There, the absolutism and max absolutism. Here is 29, so a chance of a revolution in Croatia is low. But what is the Commonwealth? Well, scroll up, and it should be... Commonwealth, 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 where are you? There you are. That's awfully high. So, that's why there's a revolution. The center of revolution, the very first of its kind, started in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. But if the Commonwealth embraces the revolution, then that means, well, it could be bad. Well, that depends on your perspective. Whether if you choose to be a traditionalist or a radical, all that. But we like to stick with our government. We chose to be a republic because this is just the shape of the future. And those minorities, like the Tunisians here, I mean, hey, it helps. And I still kind of want to make them an accepted culture is the Turkish. And you know, you do want more people influence. For 5,000? Sure. But you have any idea how long this is going to take? it's going to take you, good lord, 40 years. But you could speed it up bit by bit to use up some of that manpower, which the manpower is already going to be used right now to create another army here. As we've sent them on their way. Spread out. Guard our border. And then you're gonna come back down here, pick up one army, so we can send one to protect Tunis and all that. So it's gonna take a while to see there. Yeah, it's a long way for you to hear. Okay, we got our regiment. Now we're going to do it the Russian way, because I remember the Russian had a habit of having a large number of infantry with some artillery support. So we kind of want to emulate that. 20. And some artillery. This is a 5th army, and which is going to be just to protect our European lands. And all that. France has declared war against Savoy nationalism. Hey, isn't there supposed to be a coalition against France? Let me look into that, because I just did some thinking in the head. You're at war with Savoy. In addition, Austria, Cleves, Lorraine, Liège, Brittany, Breton, Columbia, Augsburg, Hamburg, the Palatinate, Blanchard, and Bregenz. Whew. You're up against France, French Canada, French Columbia, French Alaska, and so France and the colonies, basically. What have you got yourself into? And all that. Tisk, 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 France. If I was you, fight against England, then we're gonna start having problems. And plus, it'll keep them distracted while I will continue to make gains in a few years' time and all that. Oh, and by the way, since we pillaged that Congo a bit, there's only one more development that's needed in Zagreb. Which, easy. Even though it's going to cost you, it's 105. Well, encourage development. 105 to 101. Okay, fine. And since you get a lot of diplomatic power now, use it. Now it's 50. Objective complete. You'll be increasing that splendor in no time. Oh, we still have that access, military access from... God blasted Brittany. There. Now we can get some diplomatic power going. There's another thing I want to bring up in the ledger. Besides absolutism, there was another thing that kind of concerns it. Mercantilism, yes. Who in the world has got the most amount of mercantilism? Trade. Country trade comparison, mercantilism. The highest mercantilist country is England. Of course. Arakan is another. I mean, good God, could you imagine getting up there? I mean, it's kind of too late at this point, but as for Croatia, ranked for 29, and we're basically just trying to get up there. But overall, as statistics is concerned, excuse me, we have the second largest navy in the world, mostly because we're mostly a merchant navy than anything else. But of course, one day we will invest a lot of money in building grand shipyards. So that way we may have to refit our navy to having more heavy ships, cut down on the galleys, or at least create a separate fleet. One that covers the Mediterranean, and the second fleet would be mostly heavy ships that covers the Mediterranean and the Atlantic coast, and eventually all the way to the Indian Ocean and all that. Yeah. And all that. But fourth highest trade income, well, it's in the works. But who's got the highest trade income? England, of course. Has England not taken trade ideas? Oh, they have. So, I'm sure they make good money through trade, whereas for us it's in the works. Even though our places to send merchants to aren't the best. But still. Alright, you are here. So, we want you to be... We're taking you to Tunis. There's a potential uprising. Not in there, but down there. In a desert that you're going to have to deal with in the future. If it gets antsy and all that. And of course, these damn Timurids are at it again. Which is the biggest, scariest country that I've seen in a while in terms of strength. But, don't worry. Vijayanagar is bigger and scarier in terms of army size, but nobody in the right mind would want to fight them. Saxland back in the Netherlands. Traveling minstrel. Administrative power or bring him to court. Statesman on the organized church. We need more of that. Allow him to go wherever his heart wishes. Remember, as soon as these provinces are cored in 2 years' time, we'll, again, negotiate with them to say, hey, we want to buy this land from you. And if they don't, invasion. Cruel, isn't it? But, hey, it's just how we operate here. And all that. Oh, by the way, there's this mission. Despite the fact that we've completed everything except for, you know, global dominance, because we'll never reach that in Gruza. Expand overseas. As big as the world as it is, it's still interconnected through a vital number of trade routes. In the ancient order, cloth, spices, metals, bullion, and Chinaware, and all kind of manufactured goods are brought across deserts and oceans to those who would pay the most for them. Taking a share of this trade, though acquiring useful ports and trade regions far abroad, could make even the smallest power richer than Croatia. I thought it said Croatia, but no, it's Croatia. So it tells you own 5 provinces across 3 different trade company regions that are not in the same continent as my capital. We already have one in Tunis, even though it was a bad investment, but we own about... Let me see. Because it's Tunis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 5. So we'll build a trade company here soon. In addition to one we got, including another Congo. So that'll be 2 different companies. Form one more company here, then you'll get your goal. And then form one more company to get a much better goal. And that is the ultimate one. Found an Indian Trade Company. The Croatian Indian Trade Company. Can you imagine that? But it could happen. Still. That's my goal for this early part of the 1700s in this series. I was just texting, of course. Need those transports back over here. You know, may never know that these troops will be at the ready again, ready to fight. Because they're not going to put up much resistance should invasion come to them. Although I believe it's more likely. Share of my maps of Australia. It'll give us 10 prestige. Sure. You want to know all Australia? It's all Spanish, I can tell you that. Bengal looks weak. And that kind of... If we establish our presence here, we could ask them for land, because we have heard that one of the most valuable trade nodes in the world is Bengal. What's England up to? Nothing. Nothing, I say. These conversions will soon be finished. Okay. It's because of here. Against religious unity, that's the bit of the issue. Doesn't hurt to, for one more. Well, not here, because it belongs to the trade company. Oh yeah, we put that there. Oh, and by the way, having a trade company there, it does not contribute. I mean, even if you put it in any non-Catholic faith country and you made that province to a trade company, it does not add up, or down, I should say, for the religious unity. And all that. So we'll just be converting one more. And now that these provinces are Catholic, well, it's time to court. And as they're being cored, let's form that trade company right here, right now. Oh, it's already formed, but we're adding more provinces to it. Adding more local trade power. So again, trade company was founded here, part of the Guinea. So that's 3. And I guess we'll add one here. Because of this thing here. With the stock exchange already here. But don't invest anything right now. Just to watch the increase. It's 9%. Wait 1 month. 1717, jeez. So it's from 9% to 12%. And it increased the trade value here. And the Ivory Coast, so yeah, we're making more profit now. Oh, go back to that. Want to increase the trade value? Well, more trade power, I should say. We should invest. And for the entire same area, like here. There you got one here. And another here. And another over here. There's your trade power. And if you care about developing or trade value, just to get it up. I mean, you wanted more power, and by golly, you're gonna get it as soon as you well, finish coring and then converting for these and all that. So check again. So is it possible to beat out the Netherlands? Because they have the highest trade power, but now can we outcompete them? Is another question. 18, so what does that make us here? Yep! Took the lead. We have taken the lead. And we've earned even more profit. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you see what I mean? What mercantilism can do for you? Listen to yourself, Lord Master. A man who's pro-mercantilist does not work in today's day and age, because that's what free trade is for. You're just trying to find ways to enrich yourself, as you have spent it on getting a new army, despite the low inflation, but still. Oh, and these areas here. At least it has a stock exchange. Trade station here. Workshop. Doesn't have it. Conscriptions in the workshop. No manufactories for ivory, which would have increased the value a little more. I could invest it in a little more, but... well, we're coring these right now. But it's for the Congolese coast. Keep that well in mind. Although you could increase the value for the entire Guinea Charter, the Guinea Company. Yeah, screw it, because trade value means more income out of this. That's for the entirety of the Ivory Coast trade. Obviously, we can't get this of what the Spanish have, nor do we desire to move inland. Just stay along the coast and you'll do okay. Obviously, you can't tell England what to do. Just say, hey, can I have this? They'll say no. No money in the world will convince them. And the Dutch is at war. If they weaken themselves further, then maybe we can talk. Keyword maybe. Well, see you in 2 years. And I'll be sure when we get to Zanzibar, send a merchant to there, since we're not getting much profit out of the inland areas. 23. Nobles demand increased pensions. I'll take the tax income lost for 20 years! I mean, it hurts a little, but... well, we have drastically increased the income of the production and the trade, especially the trade. And all that. Congolese separatists. See, that's why we still have 2 stationed here. Knowing what we're up against. And I was considering making Tunisia a state, but Commonwealth Audibility appears. We border with them. Allied with Karakunulu, Vaz. Guaranteed by Perm and Akunulu. That's our friend! Don't tell me you're involved. Oh my god, they are. Is this the end of our alliance with Akunulu? We've been good friends. We know you're weak, but Perm is involved. You're the strongest in the world. If I tell them no, then that would be deterring relations. I never wanted this alliance to end, but... and you wanted Ardabil, which will no doubt will give you much lands that you want. That's the end of our friendship then, with Akanulu. I'm sure we'll get back together one day. So let me see. 70,000 strong that we'll be sending to there. Because we will commit just 3 armies here. So bring out some of the generals. Hey. I thought I was a son. I could have sworn. Well, anyways, it's time to get together. Knowing that they're gonna come up here. What are you gonna do about that revolution of yours? Present. But their navy, however, is rather inferior. In that case, blockade. I'm just sad at the breakup of our old ally. Hey, may never know that they'll let us turn against the Mamluks and Kanamanese and all that. How could you do that? That's all I gotta say about you. What's the 4 level? 6? 6. We can hold them off. Why'd you take the long way round? Head back. They're sending all their guys over here. While we'll blockade the coast. These 2 remain in position. And 1 remains in Tunis until further notice. Excuse me. Oh, of course they would. Conditional military access. Okay, thank you. We never fired the shots against them in anger, but if this is the way, then it's the way. It's all about these damn guaranteeing other nations thing. Silly thing. Well, we're going after them right here, right now. This area is highlands, but enemy reinforcements will no doubt be heading this way. Let's get rid of them. One retreated already. Damn, they got way higher discipline than us. What? 2 could play that game. Land attrition, monthly war exhaustion. That's what this is for. 2 could play that game. Here's your discipline. They were giving us a beating. And now they're coming up here. Now we have the high ground. Got rid of them all. Try to surround them. Idolatry or reverence. Our efforts to bring salvation to the heathens of Tarata has borne fruit. It has strange and unfamiliar fruit. The local poverty started to accept Christ, but the faith has been intertwined with their old ways, angels and spirits, the true Lord and the old Lord of the sky, the Blessed Virgin and the Earth Goddess. Do these people really believe in what they hear, or do they simply call their old idols by different names? The local missionaries come for us for advice about the concerned souls of the Croatian people and his own. Their faith is pure and we'd be fools to reject it, so yeah, let's have a bit of syncretism. Adds more missionary strength that way, gets things done faster, but the Taunt's true faith would go down a bit, but a little more to the heathens. To each his own. Not much, but hey, to each his own. We'll be sure to fight against Mali in the future. These three here. Especially here, which, again, interestingly, no whatchamacallit stock exchange there. Taking over this area, then we would be far in the league. Because the Netherlands, well, no doubt they'll be try to be more efficient here. But I'll tell you what, to increase the chance to buy some land off of them, I mean at least one, start improving relations with them. May never know, it could help. And maybe one day try to buy land over them. And then over Bengal. Then you've got what you want. Not giving up this trade company here. But obviously the more we expand, governing capacity goes up. I mean, that's how everything works here. There. Spread out a bit. See what happens. Adopt and wait and see attitude. But the moment that the Timurids get involved in a war, oh, so the Timurids are involved. So we'll remain in our position until something happens. Like they're gonna go up to the Pontic Steppe. In Tripoli. Well, there you go. Adds up a little more. Helps with the clock, helps with the trade value. Any kind of development helps with the trade power and value, honestly. They're going to Crimea, aren't they? Yes, sir, they are. Move out. Attack here. What's our innovativeness like? Oh, pretty high. Every little bit helps. That's why I haven't been getting newer generals. With the Republic looking fragile, rumors have reached us that nobles are planning to bring the hereditary section to our great republic. Oh, this is concerning. Not good at all. That means potential uprising still. And not much great trade power like we used to. That's what a lowered stability means. And all that. Finally. It's February now. Check the range. Yes, we do have the range to go to Zanzibar, but not there. But look at this. Hey. We can negotiate, but we need to get out of this war first. So focus on this first. Quiet! The Commonwealth's coming to the rescue. All we need to do is knock Akunulu out of this war. But it looks like they got it handled. Okay, we'll go down this path then. We'll separate, so have to capture this fort, that fort, that fort. Their capital's somewhere. Where is the Akunulu capital? Never thought about it. That's something I don't typically think about. What is the capital of Akunulu? Unless it's got a capital symbol on it, then you would know. Yeah, here it is. But it's currently been besieged by the Timurids. Which no doubt the Timurids probably want some gains. Which is the last thing I've ever want to see ever from anyone. And it horrifies me to think about that. To a Croat, the only thing scarier in this world than with whoever's in the world is the Timurids. Had they come down to India and reached Delhi, they would have become the Mughal Empire. Oh, goodness. I know it's late in the playthrough, but could you imagine? So let's start making inland territories. $39. Yeah, stage. You're an accepted culture, right? Venetian. Yes, sir. Alright, let me promote you a few times. Be willing to throw a bunch of money at you. To get it to the max so we can get more administrative power. For future territorial gains. Gaspar Clavius and his family. A merchant family from Kosovo has come to greatly expand our long-range trade with the Mamluks by successfully establishing themselves in both Ankara and the Mamlukian hinterlands. They have come to be very influential above our societies and very rich. This is a situation I could probably make use of. A little more trade power in Alexandria. Obviously, we cannot outcompete that one because they're a well-established country. But let's make Gaspar a new architect for our trade policies. A little more trade efficiency. Fact. How old is he? 30. Keep that well in mind. There might be some use. Brandenburg, the new HRE emperor. They're going to Constantinople. Perm is out. We get a big amount this time. Again, we'll be talking to you one day. I don't know about conquering all of this territory, but certainly we need a seaport that can, you know, get us to there the quickest if we have the colonial range for it. In fact, check that. Colonial range, colonial range. Oh, you'll get it. One day, no doubt. Oh, by the way, since you finished coring and you got 2 missionaries available, gee, that's a little expensive. And I know we have high religious unity, but I need to influence. For the Mercantilism. So Commonwealth's making its way down here. And the Timurids are ready to wreak havoc like hell. Not going anywhere. Assign a general. Need you over here. Anyone who knows good about siege, because our guy, by our guy, I mean myself, I'm not good at siege sort of thing. One of you guys, come over here. Head to there. Head to Trebizond. You know how to do this. Get their navy off and we'll sink them. That's Clara Cornula. Military divided. Opposing factions and military advocating different tactics. We need to back one of them to end the bickering. The great prince favors offense because I'm a bold fighter, so let's have more siege ability. The only difference is 15-year extension. And after this war, we'll get a new type of artillery, the Royal Mortar. And no doubt that we will have new kind of infantry and cavalry in the future. And it looks like you guys are going to have to deal with Congolese separatists very soon. Oh, you're going in already? Well, hold your position then. They're swarming in right now. Karakunulu out. Got 9 ducats out of that. Doors open. To the capital. We'll get them out. Sunk their navy. Well, not all. Gotcha. Forgot they captured that port. War's over. Obviously, we did not get territorial gains, just money. Hey, sorry about all of this. Want to come back together? Just like old times? Of course. It was a misunderstanding. It's by my big bad friend here. So, we can't expand there. But I feel safer from the Timurids, because if they attack us, you are bringing a Commonwealth, and we'll fight together to defeat this great big red threat. Yeah, they could destroy us. Return. Alright. Hey. It's negotiating time. I doubt we have all the wealth to make it happen, but... Of course. This here. Baramandri. Okay. Oh, it's doable. Okay, the opinion is just only +2. Province share development, province development is another reason. Oh no, it's negotiable. We just simply want your land so we can just springboard our way to the East Indies. So that means we gotta start making money again. Or get money from somebody else. I know the distance is far, and we did our best to negotiate. And sending them a gift is counterproductive because you're still going to give them money anyhow. So we can establish a base so we don't have to spend administrative power. And we'll have a colonial region, hopefully, to reach it over there. If not, we're invading. And we'll bring what kind of resistance that'll be facing there. What the hell are you doing down here? Speaking of which, again, most of that income now is going to the advisor's maintenance that we just did. Probably want to get to the Mongol mercenaries. Gone that far east, have we? No, it's just Lance Scout. Got your 5. But establishing a presence in Madagascar to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to have coastal provinces and forget the rest of the inland territories and the area, these 2 areas. And fighting against Kiowa, you're friendly to us. What if? What do you say about here? What is that land called? Oh, they say no. Oh, wait a minute, that's all inland territories. The lands that are negotiable are inland territories, none of them coastal. Sure. Think. So it's like, yes, we've improved relations with you, but need to raise a little more money first. We don't have the stability like we used to. We have the means to get it back up. So. Now we know who owns what of these empty lands. No, we don't have the range to make them over here. No, wait a second. Those the lands are negotiable. Well, how does that compare? You got... Really? You'll say yes to that? Well, I'll be damned. I think we do have a base of operations, so... What's wrong with that? Why would you say yes? Is it because of the development? And are we saying it so it's like, yeah, we'll get way designed. It's crummy anyhow. Again, it's part of that sea zone. You get bypass Portuguese islands, which fortunately is our coast, not much open sea, and you'll be okay. Well. And we don't have to pay as much. And form a trade company here in Zanzibar, which of course isn't good. But, you know what? I think fighting against Saklava sounds like a good idea right now. Yes, that means more casualties, more provinces to core and all that. But we're getting this splendor up faster. Thanks to completed objectives. The first thing you need to spend is unrestricted conquest. Ignores coring distances so it doesn't take as long to core what we've been gaining. So yes, it's a good idea. Very good idea. But first, you gotta... Oh, we're about to finish these in a month. I mean, after all, you're the one that's being friendly to us, not them. You are an imamate, a theocracy. Tell you what, charter company, form this company here, and we'll send troops to land there safely, fight against them, and at the same time, see to if we can negotiate with Pasai if we have the colonial range for it. And do not forget your new mortars. The Royal Mortar. During the 18th century, the use of artillery on the battlefields became more widespread. The troops are now able to move their field guns with much more ease and speed. Compared to the old one, big boost of fire. There you have it. What if we provoke them right now? 26 in the regiments. Can't do harsh treatment. Here, we're trying to convert here. There goes our old general. Of course. Anything to keep us ahead. Because the Netherlands and the others, they're gaining on us. And like to change that. And as well as that possible war with Mali, which we can no doubt defeat them our own, if we commit most of our forces this way. But this is just only to take here, here, and here. That would make France uncomfortable. And yes, we did have improved relations. You know what? Let's keep it that way. Shall we? We'll have a talk with you in a moment. Our man just passed away. Awfully young, too. What are you more concerned of? You say you plan on going on conquests again, so bureaucrat candidate then. Is that sorry thing on your head is what passes for a crown of Croatia? Don't make me antagonize you. Because if I was fighting against you, it'll be a world war like no other. Although we would be devastated because of France and Portugal and the colonies. But Genoa and Tuscany won't help us. And the Mamluks wouldn't. But that's only if they attack us. Blast. What timing. Won't improve relations as much. Oh, I see we have 0 trade power here, but that could change. I doubt we can outcompete Goa because Swahili traditions, they have the train rage. They have the trade efficiency. But surprisingly, they don't have trade ideas, but they do have economic ideas, though. And plus, look, they rule the coast here. So if I wanted it to, I could, but not now. I'm really thinking about provoking him right now. First, no fire to shock 4 maneuver. Great. Military's ahead of time, so you'll be fine. 3 fire, no shock, 3 maneuver, 1 siege. 2 fire, no shock. 5 maneuver, 2 siege. 1 more. 2 fire, 4 shock, 4 maneuver, 2 siege. Everybody take your positions. You'll be going for this one. You'll be in that one. For anyone else that's not assigned, I'll be in this one. And you'll be in that. Lots of good generalship here. But you know what? Wait next month. We'll provoke them the next month, so we'll have the full morale due to having these new artillery units. I kind of want to put them down so we can go to our next area to conquer, Madagascar. But again, they don't cost you in administrative power for these new territories. Highly doubt they'll calm down for this, but still. At least there's no overextension now, but just provoke them. Get down here. Present. That got him handled. There shall be no more nonsense here. And these are acceptable casualties, which will recover in time, hopefully. It's time for you to get on board and head to this new area that is about to be given to us. And subsequently form a new company. Thanks to our diplomatic reputation. And they weren't too fond of the development there. And we only have to pay very little. Very little is an understatement, but still. And you don't have to spend administrative power to core it. Give it to me. It's a damn good bargain. And created another trade company here. Hang on. Hang on. So from what we know from the Malacca trade node, where does this go? They go to the Cape of Good Hope, which... Wait a second. Oh no. We're nowhere near that. Oh, they actually go to Gujarat. Well, we do have the trade range to reach the Coromandel. But they are in the middle of a war right now. So ask again later. Or alternatively, launch an invasion. To the Pasai. Which, of course, what kind of resistance are we facing? Pretty stiff on my ad, so pick a different target. What about Malacca? Weaker. I know it's very far off from here. But yet here we are. Trade station, shipyard. Gee, these guys weren't kidding. These guys weren't kidding. It is crummy land. Mind if I buy more land off of you? We're on our way. Tomorrow. Now it's Croatia, Madagascar. And our trade power is very, very weak. Because, again, this isn't going to be enough to dislodge them because they have one World Trade Center, a couple of very, very good ones. The Ivory Coast trade, if you want to dominate that, well, we can invest a little more, if you wish. Especially if you want to fight Mali to take another coastal center of trade, and that'll definitely be a boost to you. It's a trade company here, so we can't convert it. No need to do that. And it's highly doubtful that Vijayanagar would be giving away a piece of their territory. They'll never give that up. It's a large and powerful country. But we do not have the range to meet them over here. Actually, we can. Oh, a little bit of money and we can do this. We can accomplish this. Well, alright then. Well, but first, who's weaker? Oh. That's Pasai. So what you're saying is that we can springboard on the way to the East Indies. I mean, obviously the Philippines is, well, that's a good charter company. Fatten up that coffers and it's not going to get you anywhere. Or just say, please be patient and wait for the colonial range to get itself up. Fighting to establish the presence here is good enough, but the Malacca trade. Okay, compare that to Zanzibar. 38, 86 trade value. Not so good in Bengal, okay, but better than Coromandel. Well, who runs this area? Malacca. Trade company. Give me this, and then we can start talking. But I don't think they'll give that away. It's too developed. Again, negotiate with them. Despite the unfamiliarity between us. So, you'll be willing to give this away, but you'll say no because, well, obviously, we don't have the money. Okay. Improve relations then. We'll do as much as we can. Yes, I could see it now. Uh-huh. Well, what about these guys? Hey. How about you lot? Really? Here? Croatian Singapore, imagine that. Well, what about the coastal centers of trade? Okay, how about here? Pay up and then we can start talking. Yes, I could see that. Oh, by the way, are there any other trade companies beside us? No. Well. Obviously, they'll never do that because it's a colony. Brunei won't ask because they're at war. Malacca's at peace. And they're friendly. Ah, that's another thing. They're friendly with us. They are aware of Croatian presence. So they knew we were coming. And even if we were to fight the war, they would be in a weaker position. How developed is your territories? Because we can obviously make a paradise bloom. Thought about Singapore. Not because of historical reasons of how, well, you know Singapore today, right? But imagining Croatian Singapore. And we use that as a way to expand ourselves fighting against Malacca to take all their lands. Although I would do the same for Madagascar, but again, the mission is you got to have 5 provinces across 3 different trade companies. You got your 5 in Tunis, and you got your another 5 in the Ivory Coast. We need 5 more of other places, whether if it's here in the open up East African Charter, or over in the Malacca Charter, which I think on this end will be much easier, but of course you would be in a much bigger trouble for doing this. Well, you've been kind to us, but you are very willing to sell me this bit of land that is less developed. To say, oh, you want this? Here's that crummy little territory. And we'll make the land bloom. And you see, we're willing to pay. Remember, own a port province in any of those areas. India, China, Japan, or East Indies. And you will gain 200 ducats. And East India Trading Company till the end of the game, which will give us one more merchant. And add a little more global trade power. For the rest. I highly doubt Japan would want to give away their less developed territories, like say... Oh, wait, that's England. Like say, these guys. Because the Ming Empire is still ever powerful. And I guess the route to India is just, well, isn't as valuable as I thought it would be. I mean, after all, they're the ones that beat the crap out of each other. While this one is much more valuable. So we gotta establish a monopoly here. And we gotta expand these territories. Talking to Vijayanagar is not an option now. But you know what? I know it's a long way, but give me Singapore. Singapura. That's just a way to begin our land ownership here. There you go. And I may buy some land off of you too. Who are these Malaccan separatists? Small chance of that happening. Plus the color is similar between Malacca and Croatia. So what they have here is a shipyard and a naval equipment manufacturing. Build a university here and then we'll get to work developing. Well, not quite, because you can't have an edict, but it's one of these things that helps the... Aha! Croatian district. On this same bloody day, the entire Johor area have less development cost locally. It'll make our job easier. Their culture and religion will be retained. Even though the price here is fish, but oh, they'll regret the day for giving this land to Croatia. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our interest in the East India Company is based chiefly on hopes and ambitions aroused by the enormous revenues produced by the initial ventures of other companies. At the same time, there's a desire upon the part of Dragutin Tolovac to play a dominant role in the contemporary world trade, a desire that isn't necessarily wholeheartedly endorsed by our country's local merchants. So here you go. You've got your free merchant. So now we have established ourselves here, but what if we go further? Hey, are you willing to give me land? You'll say no. Well, whatever's your less developed territory, give it to me. I'll help it develop. Or how about Japan? Are you willing to give away your less developed territories to me? No, because too powerful. Well, yes, you are powerful yourself. You've managed to unite all of Japan. And all that. And these bunch of islands owned by other colonials. So, we'll send it in a month. Just check back. So, we've already set sailed from there. And we'll drop off one army there. And then drop off another. Really? They don't like each other now. Wonder who I would be more pro for, French or Spanish? Because we don't like both of them. Okay, what's the trade power? 0, obviously. We just came here. But it's possible we may go on some mad conquest against other entities. As I said, they'll regret the day for bringing us over here. Once we develop it more, and we will station more troops and fight off against anybody we see. And we need to have... Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 provinces in this. Basically the 2 whole areas. They're gonna be territories to become part of the company, and therefore we will complete this mission. And we have basically completed all the missions, except for this one. Except for that one. We need to create more ships. We need a new navy. Actually, hold that thought. You're supposed to build it at areas where they often have shipyards here. And you have yet to upgrade them. Because that would have helped you save up with the local shipbuilding time. As well as repairs. That's what you should invest on next time. But who gives a crud? Build it. Here we are. Oh, separatism went away. Okay. Again, supply limit isn't great, but what about over in Singapore? Singapore. It holds water, but just wait until the university's finished and we'll develop it. Definitely make it a base of operations here. Obviously, you gotta make repairs. And then soon we'll send light ships to protect the trade over here once we expand more of this. As valuable as Zanzibar is, but it's much richer over there. And I can't send a merchant over there because we're not going to get anything out of that. In fact, I don't even know what the hell you're doing here because there's this thing that says on the tips. You can still get your money in the Ragusa trade node even if you don't have a merchant present there. But we did that as a way of getting that trade power when we did that mission. Dominate trade. That's what we did that for. Well, I'm sending you over here. You got a long day ahead of you. A long road ahead of you. Trade company investments. So, you got the development. Here's the company depot. Here's your trade power. There's already a manufacturer here. Which again, produces fish. Which isn't that great, but... Hey, who are you complaining? Croatian culture is something of an oxymoron, don't you think? Make you eat these words. Send the Cossacks to Singapore. You stay over there. The risks of trade. Slow down a bit. Trade over large distances can be risky if profitable. The weather brigands and pirates remain a threat on land as well as on water. Normally the burghers can cope with a certain amount of mishaps and have their own ways to protect themselves to ensure their cargo. Lately, things have been going badly for a large number of merchant families, some at risk of bankruptcy. Maybe prudent on some financial compensation to get them back on their feet. Also, compensate the traders, adds more mercantilism, but we win their loyalty, and that's very good. Good for development. And meanwhile, base 2 production up for Milezi, formerly Venetia. Gotta pass another issue. Let me see. Obviously, we're trade intensive, so reduced trade regulations adds more trade efficiency and global trade power for the next 10 years. So what do you say? Dubrovnik, Krim are the only ones to support this. I'll take that hit. More influence, yes sir. You got it. A little more influence for them. Allow use of crowns, give away a little more land. Of course. Because, well, you're up there. No need to give away any more. Ooh, what else, what else, what else? I mean, you'll get rid of that corruption in no time. Now it's at 50%, so... And you make this great amount of wealth, bribe the rest. Easy. Just one. Come back to it later, I may bribe some more. Yes, I know you're getting seasick out here, but we're almost there. Almost to your new homes. Cossacks in Singapore. Can you believe that? You will remain stationed over there from now on. Revolutionary ideas spread. The Center Revolution in Lubin has spread revolutionary ideas from Belgrade. The locals will now oppose our absolutist tendencies. Oh, hell. Revolution in Belgrade? It'll go down very slowly, and it's rather concerning to see that here. Is there a way to look this up? I mean, we'll end the episode soon. Regarding revolutions. Revolution. Oh yeah, we see that now. It is embraced down here, and now has crossed the border into Belgrade. It could come here. So that's why we have 3 armies stationed here, in case such revolutionaries get out of hand here. And such. So on and so forth. We'll end the episode very soon. Just wait a few months to pass. It's kind of like whatever to me, just one fetishist. Hey, buddy. You still got the money? No, you don't. How about you up here? No, you do not. As soon as the heavy frigate is built, we're going to build a couple of more, and then another couple of years' time, and then we'll send them to Malacca. So we sent it there, and we're not collecting much trade, but that's because we still have zero trade power despite our efforts. But that will change in the future. So you take trade ideas, and that's your tradition. You have the laws, trade steering, and more merchants. Yep, they're a very mercantile country. In fact, Eastern plutocracy, that's another reason. So yeah, we definitely cannot outcompete them, but well, that will change in a hurry. Court painter available. Yeah, do hire him, simply for the sake of it. Yeah, you are staying over there for good. We might pick you up. You may want to disregard the Madagascar invasion or whatever. Disregard that. There you go. Now. So we will be sending you to the far seas to protect the trade here, so we can definitely establish ourselves here. We'll end this episode on the beginning of January 1719. I know we've been gone long, but man, I feel, you know, happy as heck that we've reached this far. Although we could do more, I feel. Thank you very much. We used to have a free merchant, but that expired from the issue in the Parliament. Okay, wait, hold on, and stop the trial. As much as I would like to get a little more power, but we're not quite there yet on this, so just for once, withdraw from public life. Get that Republican tradition up. We don't get enough of that these days. And we will start developing Singapore a bit, so we can have an access of another building. Got any forts? No, they don't. So we established our presence here and formed our own East India Trade Company, but we need to knock out the competition, especially Malacca. As much as we'd like to be allied with them, but no, I think it would be beneficial to fight off against anyone. Unless we ask our others to say, hey, are you willing to give me more land? They'll say no. Even on the less developed territories, they'll say no because we are here now and you feel threatened. Well, you have every right to be scared of me. Because guess what? Croatia is here, and we're going to be your worst nightmare. And we will take those valuables off of you, and we will enrich ourselves and all that. We have the second highest trade income now, as we'll be ending an episode on that note. Look up the trades again. Economy, income comparison. Trade. We're catching up with the English, and if we take more trade power and control here in Malacca, here, in the East Indies, we will make more money through trade than the English ever will. So we're finally going to knock them out of the competition, and that is the reason why we drive towards riches. How we sprang from one area into another, and now here in Singapore, which we use that as a base of operations to fight against anyone who's neighboring with anyone. Tributaries and all that. Understandable. So we are going to be alone on this issue unless you want to go somewhere else. Like say over there. Which, ooh, okay, guess not them. So, that's it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. We've finally done it. And all that and more. And as we said, forget about America now. It's practically a distant dream. Instead, we'll go more towards riches. And we hope you people will prosper in great wealth and in health. But until the next episode, so long for now.